strikes taking place across the province. Different school districts on different days. Started yesterday, finishes on Thursday, and our district tomorrow. We have Jason Karpuk joining us. He is the president of the Kamloops Thompson Teachers Association. Great to have you here, Jason.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So let's break it down. I know there's been a little bit of confusion as to how things have come about in terms of the fact that we've seen some cancellations with extracurriculars. Yesterday, the 1500 meter. Today was supposed to be the districts. Confusion as to how that came to be. Can we break that part down?
I was asked what the intent of teachers was on those days, and we said that teachers would be participating during the regular day, but we would be following the directive of our employer, which is that we would not be doing any work at lunch and recess, or 45 minutes before, 45 minutes after. That's the letter that we got at the time. And I guess the decision of the board at that time was that they were unable to provide coverage during the recess and lunch hour periods to satisfactorily ensure the safety of students. And so as a result, the decision was that they were to cancel both days.
And so that's how it's gone.
That's how it's gone.
Now, if somebody's here from the BCPC, but they're not, but if they were, they would say that you guys took action before they laid that information down, that directive.
I communicated to the board that we would be following our stage one, which was that we would not be doing recess supervision. There was not to be, we have a duty-free lunch that's enshrined in our contract. It's been there for years. So the requirement to do supervision at lunch still fell to administrators. Teachers who volunteered during that period would be able to volunteer, but the directive that came out from the BCPC's letter to Jim Eicher said that teachers are directed not to work during the recess and lunch. So we have to comply with what our employer has directed us to do. So.
Okay. We're at stage 2 job action, is that right?
We are at stage 2, which is the beginning of rotating strikes. They started yesterday in 17 districts, I believe, and we have 15 more districts that are out today, and those 17 districts that were out Monday are now back doing their stage 1. So we will be out tomorrow with, I think, another 12.
Okay. I know that the government and teachers are negotiating. They were yesterday at the table. I understand they are there today as well?
Yes, they were. Originally, there was plans to negotiate last Friday, but both parties decided they need to go back and relook at their positions, and they came back to the table yesterday afternoon, and they're at the table today, and we are always optimistic that we'll get a settlement.
How far apart?
It depends on the issues. We're a lot closer on the time frame in terms of the length of the agreement. There is still some disagreement at the table around some of what we believe are concessions that the employer is seeking. I don't really think that the wages are as far off as it's been reported, but for teachers, one of the big areas is still class size and composition, and we have won the court battle on that, where we've gone to court and won that it was stripped illegally out of our contract. It violated our Charter of Rights. That's being appealed, but it has had a significant impact, and there is a cost to restoring that, and I think that's part of the issue.
Tell me this, if nothing changes at the table, we don't see any real strides forward between the government and the teachers, could we see rotating strikes continuing next week?
That hasn't been clarified from the BCTF at this point. The executive will be meeting on tomorrow night and all day Thursday. We do have our regular representative assembly, which it brings together representatives from around the province. We will be discussing what's happening at the bargaining table in those meetings on Friday and Saturday, and so I would suggest that probably by the weekend we'll know what's happening next week.
What are you hearing from teachers in this district? I know this is a very frustrating time for everyone involved. Teachers out on strike tomorrow. It's going to be a rainy day for them out there.
Teachers are actually really on board with what's happening. They are at the point where it's just gotten to be enough is enough, and we feel that we can't do our job satisfactorily anymore without some influx of money into the system. And there's been a lot said around it being a result of salaries, but we need to realize that the districts have become less and less money over the last 3 years, and teacher salaries have remained at zero over the last 3 years. So you can't blame it on salary, the cost, or the underfunding, because we haven't had a raise. And so the underfunding is simply a decision that the government has made, and it's time that the public realized that either we're going to invest in education or our system's going to have to suffer.
What are you hearing from parents? Are you getting the support you're looking for?
We are. For the most part, parents, I believe, are supporting us. And of course, I hear from some, and I hear from some that are angry. But a lot of the anger comes from, I think, a misunderstanding of what really is going on, and we try to give that information to them. If people are looking for information, tomorrow they can come to the picket lines. There will be information that we're willing to provide to parents that says where are we at, what are we looking for, and why we're doing what we're doing.
So the best we can hope for is that the two sides are making some progress at the table, and hopefully that's going to change things around.
That's what everybody wants. We want the progress to happen at the table. We do want a negotiated settlement. We would like to have it ideally before the end of the school year. That would be phenomenal, and I think if you talk to any teacher in the district, they're all looking for that. But what they want is a fair deal, and they want a deal that allows them to meet the needs of the students.
Okay, so one-day closures, of course, affecting several districts tomorrow, but for us in our school district 73, schools shut down. Anything else, Jason, that you'd like to add?
No, I just really encourage parents, if you are wondering exactly what's going on, please come and talk to us on the picket lines tomorrow. We're more than willing to share our information with you. And if you feel like coming out and supporting us, we will be on the lines. We will be holding rallies tomorrow afternoon, 4:30, in front of both of the MLA's offices here. And we're encouraging anybody who wants to come out and support us to do that.
Okay, rallies in front of both MLA's offices at 4:30.
4:30 to 5.
Okay, good to know. All right, Jason, we appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Good, best of luck. Hopefully we hammer out a deal sooner than later, get the kids back to school.
Yes,
and
that's what we all want.
normal. Awesome.